We woke up one morning without any warning, logged in, big old Department of Justice, seized by the Department of Justice. Can't log in, can't access anything. Everybody just freaking. Imagine going to Wells Fargo and there's a sticker on it that says seized by the Department of Justice. You can't have your money.
I have a tremendous amount of anxiety right now.
This was a real thing for hundreds of thousands of people. Their livelihoods just stopped, like flip the switch, not gradually slowed down, just flip the switch.
Hey folks, I'm Brooks Derrick, and this is A Lawyer, His Friends, and Food. A show about local business owners, their journeys, and the thing that brings people closer together, food. On today's episode, we sit down with Mark Thoennes of Mark Thoennes Builders, a luxury home builder in Greenville, South Carolina, and enjoy some delicious seafood, and maybe even a drink or two, at the gorgeous Coral Restaurant on South Main Street. After graduating from Malden High School, Mark enrolled at York Technical College up in Rock Hill, South Carolina. But after figuring out that education might not be his calling, Mark started off on his entrepreneurial journey. He started a car stereo company in the late 90s, peeled off a window tinting company after seeing a need, and picked up a woodworking hobby in his garage, all the while playing a little poker on the side. Well, in the early 2000s, that woodworking hobby morphed into a full-fledged custom cabinetry business. And by the mid-2000s, that business and other side projects in the construction world were really taking off. But, as you might have expected, the Great Recession changed all that, as it did for a lot of folks. So how did Mark use poker to weather the storm of the Great Recession and become one of the best luxury home builders in the area? Well, let's find out.
Wonderful, my friend. How are you?
Well, welcome in. Any refreshments I can offer us?
You got a beer or something like that?
My go-to. Sugar-free Red Bull,
Yes, sir.
absolute Mandarin tall.
Oh, damn.
Got a game plan yourself? Care for a beer wine list?
Oh, man. And what was that?
Sugar-free Red Bull,
Yep.
absolute Mandarin in a tall glass. Gives you wings.
There you go.
I walk in here and they know it. They already got it mixed up, ready to roll.
Let's see
Try
here.
it. Don't be scared.
I'm gonna get some fancy ass cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely. We're known for our espresso martini. The bee's knees is great, and the rosemary smash sauce is phenomenal.
Rosemary
Bee's
smash. Bees. I'll do the bee's knees, man. That
sounds
looks
great.
like a very girly drink.
It
That'll
is.
look beautiful.
That's right.
My wife drinks it all the time. Hey, touche to that.
Touche. Cheers, my friend. Cheers. Oh man. Well, I get rolling here. I know you're from Malden High School, the Malden
Go
area.
Mavs.
That's right. MAV. That's Mavs, right? Tell me, what happens to life when you finish Malden in '91? So look, just for a little background on what I want to do here, really is like have it seem like what we just talking about, right? Like two friends who have not seen each other in years, kind of catching up. And so, what I kind of want to do is like hopefully walk you through, kind of a little bit of a life story, but also tied into the inception of the construction company and that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind as we're talking, or trying to think of it kind of almost like a story, a narrative of your like
Journey into
where you are today, right? So like you went to, was it Anderson Tech or something like? What did you write out?
York Tech.
York, that's right, York Tech.
Yeah.
So how did you go from Malden to York
So,
Tech?
I thought I was going to graduate high school, do the thing where you go to college and all that, but college really wasn't for me. I found out in a short period of time.
Okay.
My sister was at Winthrop.
Okay, that explains it. Okay.
My parents moved back to South Florida.
Okay.
So I was kind of in Greenville, like, all right, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go?
Yep.
So I opted to move up and live with my sister and brother-in-law. Right? That's pretty. Well played.
Oh yes.
Thank you.
Of course.
Can't go wrong with that,
Cheers,
right?
brother.
Appreciate it.
Oh man, my wife will be dying right now.
It's the bee's knees,
Oh, that's dynamite too.
right?
No wonder the women like it.
Fair enough.
I've actually the last few times that I've ended up with my wife, we're drinking, getting a cocktail. They've all turned out to be this like weird purple color with this kind of freeze-dried lemon of some sort on top.
Who would ever thought you'd be drinking a purple gray martini, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's dynamite though. Would you like a sample?
No,
You probably already
I've
had
had
them
them.
before.
I've had them. Very good.
All right, so parents moved back. You're kind of in limbo.
Yeah, so I said, hey, Bonnie, can I come live with you? There's a York Tech right there
Yeah.
near the Winthrop campus. So I went up there, applied. Wasn't real focused. Realized school wasn't for me. I was going to the pool halls and sleeping in late and missing classes and stuff.
Yep.
And living with them at the time.
The only thing that saved me at that point in time in my life was soccer, right?
Yeah.
Like in college, I would have been yeah. You had to have a 1.6 to play your sophomore year of college, and I had a 1.8.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Right on the line.
Right on the line.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I got you there.
That's right, that's right.
So yeah, I mean, so I went up there and just barely pushed my way through 2 years.
Okay.
Had some jobs up there. Started working at like a car audio stereo shop. And that rolls into something else. Ended up 2 years in, decided not to move back to Greenville.
Okay.
With my brother.
Did you finish that program or just said, I'm out?
Done.
Okay.
Not for me.
Come back Greenville, brother.
Yep. So just kind of worked at various small jobs. Then opened up a car stereo shop in Greer on
Okay.
Whitehampton Boulevard.
All right. When is this? What year is this
Oh
in?
gosh, had to be, I guess, 94.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm guessing.
All right.
My brother and my dad kind of helped me get that started financially and stuff, and I thought I was going to be this great custom car audio business that did all these big booming speakers in the cars and stuff. Did that for several years. We also did window tinting. Decided to close that down, sold it to another stereo shop, opened up a window tinting company, commercial residential window tinting company.
So like going to people's houses and putting the
Yeah.
windows on the tint on their Beamers and their Mercedes and stuff like that.
In their houses.
On
and
their houses too,
homes.
okay.
Yep. And really, we did a lot of commercial and residential. That's the main
Okay.
part of it. Did that for several years. Can't even remember how long I did that for. Then sold that company and started doing woodworking and supplying window grids for a construction company.
How do you get to that? Are you putting tint on windows and meet this other people that are doing
I
other
bought
stuff?
a house that needed all this work done. It had a workshop in it, so I started, well, I'm going to buy this tool and start fixing this in the house and start getting into woodworking. And my dad and brother were already in building. They had their own construction company.
Okay.
And there was a need for a particular wood window grid that snaps into a window. They used to have these wood ones that snapped in. So
plastic thing on the end. And,
yeah.
Yep.
So we opened up a company producing these called One Source, I think was the name of it. But I still had my shop where I was doing woodworking got really into woodworking. So then I took that company and rolled it into a custom cabinet company where we manufactured high-end residential cabinetry for my dad and my brother's company and for other builders all over Greenville.
Okay. All right.
That was we grew that to a 12,000 square foot manufacturing facility in Greenville. Had a bunch of employees, all the big.
What years is
equipment.
this in here?
Oh, I'm so bad with time.
That's okay. It's all right.
Years. Probably late 90s,
Okay.
I'm guessing.
All right. So you
Maybe.
got this thing that's going on. So keep going.
Always had an entrepreneur mindset.
Right.
Didn't work well for other people. Just wanted to be my own self.
I'm the same.
So I ran the construction company the cabinet company for quite some time. Then I went to work for my dad and my brother while I still had the construction company, kind of project managing.
Okay. All right.
So that's kind of how I got into construction. This is now fast forward to like 2006, I guess.
Okay. All right. All right.
Me and I met my wife in 90.
Got to get this date right.
Oh boy, you may have to edit this part of it. Oh gosh,
Romantic interlude music here, or maybe Jeopardy music.
97?
Maybe Jeopardy music right here, right?
Yes, please. Give me some time to think. Give me some time to think to get this right.
We will clip this and send this to her for
Thanks.
just for your
Appreciate
on
that.
your wedding anniversary.
Appreciate it. We are about to have our 25th
Woo!
anniversary.
There we go.
So that makes
You
it
know
easy
that
for me
much.
to get the math
Yes.
pretty close.
Yes.
So yeah, and I'll get back to that story of how I met my wife because
Yeah.
that's all great. So yeah, started working for my brother and my dad's company for a while, and then I just randomly decided to go and get my builder's license in the great year of 2008.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing for a builder, right?
Yeah. That's when I finished law school. So
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Or, no, I finished 07. My bad, but
Okay.
I got fired in 08. So
I've been fired
because I was not a good employee.
I've been fired from a few in the past. That's why I wanted to be my own boss.
That's right.
So I can't fire myself, although
Yeah.
sometimes I want to. Yeah, so, I mean, I got my license. Kind of didn't, it's a neat story. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. My
Okay.
wife knew, of course.
Right.
I didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell my dad, didn't tell my brother, didn't tell anybody that I was doing it. Studied for this test, which I thought was going to be this huge problem because school wasn't for me. And managed to pass my license. And then I kind of went and built 2 houses, just low key on my own.
Right.
Figured it out. It was a process. I don't think I made any money,
Yeah, I'm sure.
but that's when the market crashed. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise that I got my license in because I didn't have a ton of inventory. You know, I wasn't overextended.
Right.
So I managed to save my banking relationships, my credit.
Right.
Fire sold one, moved into the other.
Okay.
And managed to shred that without.
Because like if you get in that, if you pass that license in 04, 05, 06, you're in deep shit in 08.
If you're starting to put out a bunch of
Yeah.
speculative building,
Right.
getting stuck holding the bag when nobody's buying anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, no doubt. When the recession hits, where do you pivot to? What's going on there? So so let me ask a second question too. Is like, is your wife on board? Are
Yes.
are you married at this point in time?
Yes.
I guess I could do the math, but I
Yep.
can't right now. I've had too much to drink.
Yeah. So I mean, I had a banging year the year you got married. We dated for about a year and a half together. She moved down from New Jersey.
Okay. How'd you meet her?
Game Time Riptide. You remember that place?
Yes.
Had the outdoor beach volleyballs, the pool halls, the golf simulators. Best club in Greenville at the time.
So great. Well, besides characters,
Well, yeah, characters is a staple.
R.I.P.
Plenty of stories from characters. We won't get into that. All right, we're calm down. Calm down. The people going now.
That's right.
So she was working at Game Time, working as a barback. She just moved down from Jersey. Her dad came ahead of her, and she he was trying for a new job. She kind of came down to scout the place out, find a place, whatever. So I was living with my buddy Scott Peak. I don't know if you remember Jason Peak,
Yep.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So my buddy Scott Peak, we were roommates, and his friend, I don't know, had a girl that worked at Game Time. Her friend Stina, my wife,
Okay.
said, "Hey, come on a double date with me on this guy. I'm not in the picture of this. I'm not even in this conversation."
Yeah.
Well, Scott couldn't go, so I stepped in and went as the blind date
Blind date.
to meet
Yeah.
Stina.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
we meet there, and she's working and stuff. We hang out till she closes, and we start playing all the games and stuff, and just kind of hit it off. And it's a funny story about this part is, I was like, "Hey, it's kind of late. I can take you home. You don't need to drive." No, I know where this is going. You're not taking me home. This and that. I'm like, I'm a Jersey girl. I don't need a guy to take me home.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Come on, where do you live?" She's like, "Malden." I said, "I live in Malden." She's like, "Yeah, okay, I've heard this
Sure,
story before."
yeah.
We're about in Malden, right off of Butler Road. No way, I live off Butler Road. We lived in the same apartment complex. I was on the second floor, overlooking the pool straight into her apartment on the first floor.
Man,
It's destiny.
that is. That's a Hallmark movie shit.
That's right. That's right. So anyways.
Or a Dateline.
there you
Two. Both of those two shows, they kind of parallel each other in a weird kind of way, you know?
Depends how it ended up,
That's
right?
right, that's
So we're good. So it's not a Dateline movie. Not a Dateline movie. Oh man, that's funny. So we just hit it off real good, and had a little short courtship.
Yep.
Got engaged, got pregnant, bought our house, got married, had a baby 1 year. Yeah. So
Whoa.
amped it up. Fast forward.
Yeah.
That was my-
100 of the kids say these days.
So that now I have a beautiful 23-year-old daughter,
Wow.
Victoria. So
That's
and I
kinda,
have
it's kind of crazy when you put it against the juxtaposition of I have a 1-year-old
hey, kudos
and a
to you.
2-year-old.
Hey,
But like that's a
yeah,
whoa.
23-year-old daughter, and I have a 19-year-old daughter, Morgan, who's also a superstar. So, and yeah, so that's the courtship, the whole how Stina and I met, and fast forward now almost 25 years later, and we're about to have our 25th anniversary. So
It's pretty dope.
it's big time.
Really big time.
So 2 daughters, 25 years of marriage. My 19-year-old goes to Penn State. Just decided to get away from Greenville. She applied to like 9 different colleges, got accepted into 7 of them, big colleges. Clemson, Duke, Penn State, UConn. And she's like, I can go out there, check it out. If I don't like it, I'll come home. We're like, love it. So, she's a sophomore up there right now.
That's pretty dope.
Doing
All right,
great.
so we got marriage,
Yeah.
you're at that point in time when you get married and all these things are coming to fruition. Are you still owning the stereo speaker? This is after
No,
stereo speaker. This is
Now
construction,
let's fast forward
carpentry.
back. Let's fast
Okay.
forward back to 2008.
Oh,
Got my
okay.
builder's license. And there's a little backstory. This about 2001. I started playing poker with friends.
Okay.
Cards and just
All right.
friendly game. Nickel, dime,
Yeah,
whatever. When in 2003, I think is when the big money maker thing, and everybody started WSOP and all
Okay,
this stuff
yeah.
on TV. So, anyways,
I
I'll
had
get back
a
to that
buddy.
later.
I had a buddy of mine in graduate school that when we came in as like we were TAs. So in the teacher training, I met him. He was a math guy, and I was going in for inorganic chemistry. So he's in math. I'm in inorganic chemistry. And we meet, and during the time we were there, he started playing poker online a lot.
Yep.
And started, and it probably about this time period, about 03, 01, sometime I moved. About the time I moved away, I finished school and went to Charleston, is when he started making a bunch of money online.
A lot of the math guys did.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's all right. What was his name?
His name is Ben Stoffinger.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tight-knit group in the online poker.
Yeah. I mean, he was getting paid to be like,
An affiliate,
to go into other rooms that were not
full, didn't have a lot of players.
Yeah, like he's getting,
Yeah.
the game, like moving all over. I mean, it was,
It's interesting.
yeah, it's fascinating, yeah.
And the math guys excelled
Yeah.
well in online poker because it's a lot of numbers and
Yeah, yeah.
percentages and probabilities.
Right.
So now 2008 hits, and I have to close. I still have my cabinet company.
Okay.
Have to close it down. A lot of builders went under. We had a lot of receivables. We weren't getting new work, so that was pretty heartbreaking for me because I built that company to a pretty sizable company that put out a lot of neat product in the building industry. So I wasn't building any houses, wasn't doing any renovations. So I started really getting in and focusing on the poker playing, whether it's home games and just anything I could to provide for my family.
What's that like? What's that like? Like, trying to think, like, as it's hitting the fan. What is your, like,
thought process of like, okay, well, I got to, you said a minute ago, like moving the houses around, like fire sale on one, move into the other businesses, you're looking at a bunch of AR. What are those conversations like at home? What are y'all talking about?
So,
How do you come to poker? Like, how do you go like, well, I'm gonna go, maybe, is it like one game, you go to the friend neighbor's house and like make some money?
As far as the conversations at home are like, okay, well, my normal career of building cabinets and working for my dad and brother is no longer producing income. I've got landlords coming after me for rent on my cabinet company. I got banks coming after me for the 2 houses that I have, saying they want to call the note due. And
right.
That's when we had to make the decision. Okay, well, let's move into this one and let's just take the loss on this one. But Stina, I mean, my wife, she's such a rock. I mean, never questioned anything, never worried about it. We'll get through this, no big deal, and just was a pillar of support. So I'm sitting here in the downtime when I'm not focusing about that stuff, playing some online poker, tournaments online, playing local underground games because we're in South Carolina.
Yeah,
it's frowned upon here.
Right. And you're doing this through the when things are good too, right? Is that?
Yeah, so I did it up to 2008, just kind of as a hobby.
Yeah.
Still making money, but it's not like my main focus.
Right.
It's just extra spending money. And then 2008, I realized, okay, maybe I need to focus more on this.
Yeah.
I'm a self-proclaimed professional poker. I'm not a professional poker player.
Right.
But so always had the support of Stina. There's a lot of playing poker. You're playing. I'm doing great.
Did you get a chance to look at the appetizers? Give you an additional moment?
I know them. I don't know if you have.
I have. I looked earlier today.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
You want me to throw in some stuff?
You order for us.
All right. Let's do a oyster salador.
Salador?
Let's do a banging shrimp, lightly banged with some sour cream on the side.
Yes, sir.
And then surprise us with one more.
Yeah, awesome. Any preference? Seafood, steak?
Pick it.
Dealer's choice.
That's right.
That's a good one.
Right? Surprise us. It's got to be good. So hopefully I'm not getting sidetracked. So I started focusing more on playing the poker.
Right.
And what really propelled me is I had a couple decent online scores, as you call them in the poker, wins in the tournament, that allowed me to take those winnings, and I created almost a company. We called it Frogger House, Frogger Inc. for whatever reason, because my avatar was, remember the Frogger game?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Little green guy. So that was the avatar on the poker screens, and I started investing in other poker players that were much better than me.
This is pre-08, right? This is
after.
Oh, after. Okay.
08.
Got it.
This is when I had to start figuring out what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So and again, that community is real tight. Everybody knows everybody. And a lot of these young players that are just excelled in poker, either they didn't have great money management skills, or they didn't have the bankroll to continue
go all in and play, or
keep playing and stuff. And it also lowered their risk and minimized their risk. So I backed a bunch of top-tiered players, and they in turn had some great scores, and so it just kind of snowballed into this thing, and it provided for my family. Thank you.
Of course.
I was traveling to Vegas, to New Orleans, to the Bahamas, to Atlantic City. So it was a lot of travel, and it was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of time away from my family.
Are you playing also at a time? Okay.
Oh yeah. So I'm more what they call like a cash game player, where you're just sitting trading cash amongst other people instead of tournaments.
So you're going to it's like I'm gonna go down here and sit in this room and play poker over here, and the same rooms that I see when I'm walking through in Vegas. You're like, there's this room over there that I have no business walking into. You're in that room.
We're the ones that hope you come and sit down. Hey, I'm going to try this thing.
Yeah. I got 20. Wait, no, wrong game, player.
You're the fish or the whale.
Yes. I'm a sucker.
That's right. But it also allowed me to meet a lot of good people. It allowed me to travel a lot and experience a lot of things. And then 2000, I think, let's see, it's here 14 or 12. Again, terrible we have what's called Black Friday in the poker world.
Okay.
When the Department of Justice came down and just shut down all the online poker sites. Literally, because all the poker players just kept their bankrolls on these sites. They were safe and they were secure. When they need money, they would just withdraw it and send it to their bank account. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we woke up one morning without any warning, logged in, big old Department of Justice, seized by the Department of Justice. Can't log in, can't access anything. Everybody's just freaking out. Imagine going to Wells Fargo and there's a sticker on it that says seized by the Department of Justice. You can't have your money.
I have a tremendous amount of anxiety right now.
This was a real thing for hundreds of thousands of people. Their livelihoods just stopped, like flip the switch, not gradually slowed down, just flip the switch.
Whoa.
So that was a huge
When
deal.
is that? You know when that is? Is that
2000? Is it like I said, it's either 14 or 12? I think it was
okay?
14.
All right.
Yeah. So that was, everybody's just in freak out mode. I mean, I had hundreds of thousands of dollars that I no longer had access to.
So so what you're saying is you're from 08 to 12 or 14. Is this your only source of income?
Pretty much. I'm doing some other little small remodel jobs still.
Okay.
Keeping
your
my
license
builder's
up.
license
Okay.
up, seeing what's happening, but there's just not a lot going on.
Wow.
Sorry, it was 2012, I think, when
Okay.
that happened. So then we started to see a change in the market about 2013 in the real estate market. And that's when I started to get back into real estate, because now online poker's shut down. I mean,
I seem to have a memory of that at some. I mean, I don't play poker. I mean, I probably played poker aside from when I was in high school playing with like, your buddy's chips or something. Like, I probably played poker 5 or 10 times maybe, and all of those times probably involved Ben, my friend, like of us getting together and playing poker, and so I would be a.
and a lot of those games still happen. People still play home
Right.
games. I still occasionally go to
Right,
home
right,
games
right.
and they're playing for, $20 buy-in, $100 buy-in, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of, there's still a lot of poker being played. It's
Pay
still
that man his money.
That's right. Best poker movie of all time.
I love that
Pay
movie.
him. Pay that man his money. Anyway. All 90, check. Greatest movie. There's been many spin-offs, but none have been as good as.
God, that is so good.
Who is that? John Malkovich?
Yeah.
Awesome movie.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, I mean the poker world is so interesting. I mean, we could do a whole nother series on that.
Yeah.
The stories. I mean, the things that people bet on and gamble. There was a bet. I think it was like $100,000 that this guy couldn't lunge. He had to lunge for like 24 hours anywhere he went. So if he had to go to the bathroom, he had to do lunges all the way to the bathroom for 24 hours. And I think one of the part of the story is he had to go to the bathroom, but he was nearing the end. His legs were just shot. He was in the middle of a tournament, had a lot of chips. He had his friends come over with blankets and stuff, and I think urinated into like a can because he couldn't walk and he didn't want to lose his $100,000. Ends up getting kicked out of the
For peeing in a cup or peeing in a.
tournament, but he lunged out. Wasn't gonna lose that bet.
I was gonna say either lunged out or the security carried him out, so he didn't have to worry about it.
There's just crazy stories like it. One bet was like this guy can't stay in the Bellagio hotel for, a month straight without leaving it. Could only order room service, and I mean, think how insane you had. They're just stupidest bets. But anyway, that was a.
So when that shuts down, when that gauntlet comes down, do you have? I'm assuming you have some money that's not tied up in, Bovada.com, right? Or Bovada.lv or whatever the heck the address is. I've never been there, obviously.
Clearly, I didn't even mention that name. You just told on yourself. So yes, fortunately, I mean, I had not all of it in there, but I had
a lot.
A lot in it.
A lot.
Enough to make
enough to make it really uncomfortable. That I'm assuming that Friday night is an uncomfortable laying your head down on the pillow.
Yes.
Does your wife work also?
No, she's been a stay-at-home mom since she got fired the day she got back from her honeymoon. So, like, well, they were like, we didn't want to tell you while you're on your honeymoon. Well, crap, you should have told me. I would have stayed on my honeymoon longer.
So you got fired on your day off.
So we were fortunate that she was able to stay home, be with the kids, and take care of them, and
Wow, what a blessing.
yeah, truly has. So yeah, so she's at home taking care of the kids in the household during this whole time.
What is that? I'm just thinking about this. What is that moment when you're like, I'm sure you have this screenshot in your your memory, right? Of just like, how about this? How did you figure out that was happening?
When I tried to log in and I see this big, literally a seal seized by the Department of Justice. Oh. This website has been seized they went after all the big, the owners and of the websites and stuff, but they literally just seized it. Nobody could log in, nobody could access it. So we just keep hitting refresh, and hoping for a different outcome, and it's the same thing.
I'm imagining that there's, I guess, 2012 Facebook's a thing, but I'm sure there's still like poker room groups probably, like or forums that y'all are like communicating with each other on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the end of the line for a lot of people because they just left that in there. It was used as a currency. I mean, people would just transfer money to people like a bank, like you're doing a Zelle or a wire transfer. You say, send me this or pay me off of this or whatever. And then if you needed to withdraw it, you just got it transferred to your bank account.
Before Bitcoin.
Before Bitcoin.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Whoa. That would just be like, I can just feel it.
Fast forward, I mean, we ended up getting most of the players ended up getting, a couple of the sites were fraudulent, didn't get any of that money back.
Right.
But the legit ones that were just shut down by the government because they say they were illegal or whatever, after a year, I can't remember how many years, but after several years, we ended up getting most of those funds back.
Right. In hindsight, that's good. But in that moment in time when you're like, this is a lot of, I mean, don't tell me the number, but what percentage of your savings was represented inside of that?
75.
Yeah. And what percentage of your monthly nut relied on that website? 95%.
75.
I get the idea that is what's paying is making the nut, and there's these other little small things that you're doing kind of on the side is just like, I'm going to keep my license fresh, and this is kind of gravy money, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, 50, 75, I'd say. But I had a good enough of a nest egg saved up to where I was like, okay, I'm going to get back into real estate. Still playing poker in all the underground
locally,
games
stuff, yeah.
And still traveling to live events in Vegas.
Right. You still do all that stuff.
That's correct.
You can't on a Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday morning
log in and play.
You can't log in and play all day.
Or withdraw some money or whatever. So.
What are you doing with your hands after that? Like you just go. You're like, okay, well, I gotta start building house. Like, talk through that process of like.
So I had I need to think if I want to get into this part of it. All right. Had a old friend from pre-2008.
Okay.
Wanted to get back into real estate in Greenville, and kind of he sparked that fire back into me to get back into real estate.
Right. Okay.
Needed a job, kind of had a plan, and sparked that for us to kind of.
And this is, you knew him from pre-08, and you reconnect in 2012, 2013 time frame. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And he kind of convinced me to get back into it hot and heavy, and him come work with me and help me grow this company. And my building company 2008 was Marquee Custom Homes.
Okay.
So in 2013, when I decided to start get back in it, I rebranded it.
Okay.
And came up with Mark Thoennes Builders. It's unique enough. Marquee, anybody can Google Marquee whatever. So like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm all in. I'm going to put my name on it.
Yeah.
So that means me putting my name on the company means a lot because it is my name. It's just not the name of a company. It's
Right.
Mark Thoennes Builders. So
Yeah.
I feel like it requires me to hold myself to a higher set of standards because it is my name. I'm not hiding behind a corporate name or something.
Right.
I shouldn't say hiding. That's not necessary. But that's
What
kind
you-
of my
yeah.
my
Like
mentality.
you're not hiding behind a corporate veil.
There you go. I can't pierce it.
That's right. That's right.
Can you pierce a corporate veil?
Depends.
So-
that's how lawyers work, right?
Yeah.
Every single question is, you grab this magic 8-ball. This is what I want. I want a magic 8-ball. It sits on my desk or sits on the shelf behind me. So anytime anybody asks me, I'll grab the magic 8-ball and I'll shake it. And if in the lawyer's edition of the magic 8-ball, all sides of that little triangle or pyramid that flips around, all of them say it depends. So you ask me a question, it's like, hang on. It depends.
That's funny. And it's funny you say that because one of my attorney friends says, if you had a magic 8-ball or a magic wand, what would you want? Or what would you do? That's his response to it always.
All right,
Yeah.
talk to us.
This
Got a
is
little
fun.
bit of our yellowfin tuna over here. A little carrot ginger puree, Asian slaw.
Great choice.
Soy pearls. Or oysters Talador, or take on the Rockefeller. Baked oyster, a little bit of chimichurri, cotija cheese, and prosciutto on top. And then our banging shrimp, probably the most popular appetizer on the menu. Bang bang sauce, scallions on top, and Mark likes this with a little bit of sour cream.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all
Thank
enjoy
you,
it.
buddy.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with this.
And what'd you say? You said light bang bang? What'd you say?
So they're normal when they put a lot more, and some people like a lot.
Right.
I just like it lightly drizzled on there. Throw on some sour cream.
Let me move this over here for you there, player.
Yeah, you gotta get a picture of that pretty thing. How about that?
That is
Oyster. You an
beautiful.
oyster fan?
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you what do you prefer? Like a Rockefeller? Or do you like them on the half shell or all of
Yes.
them?
Yes. Yes. When I was looking last night, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna wear. I have a shirt that says "Eat Wild Oysters," and I was just about to wear it today, and I was like, yeah, it's a little cold. Probably gonna be cold tomorrow.
All
I
right,
think.
come on.
Oh yeah. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Oh.
All right. Yep. You say go. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
I don't know. You can slurp it out or.
Oh, no, it's cut off. Yeah.
What do you think?
That's wonderful.
Right?
Oh, wonderful. My wife and I went to
I mean, you can just slurp the rest of that butter and brine and.
went out to we went out to California for my
All right, come
40th
on.
birthday.
You know what you're supposed to do.
Oh yeah, sorry.
My bad.
We went out to California for my 40th birthday, and we had stayed for like 2.5 weeks. It was a wonderful time. We were
What part of California?
Napa. We drank wine and we returned to, this is when I lived in Charleston. We returned to Charleston to like my entire office full of cases of wine. Because like everywhere you go, you're like, oh, I'll have a sample. And you're like, oh, well, I'll join your wine club. I'll join your wine club.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like the deal was, if you join our wine club, we'll waive the tasting fee, right? So they're like, sure,
Sucker!
I'll gladly trade this $50 in exchange for paying you $800 every quarter for the rest of perpetuity. You know, like great deal.
That's how they get you.
And my staff was like, you got another case? Another case?
It's like my wife
Another
with
case.
the Amazon orders keep
Yeah.
coming. Yours was
Yeah.
wine.
Yes. All
A
right.
friend of mine, Kelly Wilson, is the one that introduced me to
You-
sour
you not-
cream.
you don't
Go
dip
for
it?
it.
You don't
No,
dip in this?
I do. I just didn't know if you did. I
I'm
don't
fine.
care. Dip.
I'm
man.
fine. We're from Malden.
Come on, get you some
We're
on there.
not classy enough for
There
this
you
shit,
go.
right? Cheers.
All right. What do you think? With sour cream or without? It's not for everybody, so you're not gonna hurt my
I
family.
like it.
Hey.
Crunchy.
You doing okay?
Yeah, we think we need you to come and have you met Brooke?
Avoiding the
No.
interview or?
Please. This is Dakota.
Hi,
She's one of
Dakota.
the owners.
I'm Brooks Derrick. Nice to meet you, Dakota. Pleasure.
How was
Thanks for
everything?
having us
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
She's also a great friend. Her husband Chris, recently married.
Yeah.
They're also a client, new client, like as of today, right?
Yeah, we signed today.
Oh, hey.
It's been in the works for a while.
It has.
We had a, 4 or 5 month long ARB approval process.
So we're there. But yeah, they're great people. We love their restaurant. We come here all the time.
It's so exciting. My wife and I just finished a house, so it's
So
yeah.
we're
They live in
In Fountain Inn.
Simpsonville,
Fountain
Fountain
Inn.
Inn.
that's where we're trying to get away from.
Right, right. You gotta watch out for those Fountain Indians.
Yeah, those people live out in the country.
It's actually cool.
Yeah, they-
See, that's right. Yeah, see, yeah.
We're in 5 Courts, so we're just trying to get close to the direction.
Oh yeah, that's too much over there. Yeah, we're quaint.
That's right.
right now.
Right, and we're just far out.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's just like we're here and there's a strip mall over there.
Right. How's the food so far? You barely touched it.
It's wonderful.
I mean, I've had one of those and one of those.
All right.
About to get in that.
Need anything right now?
Well, I'll take another
Take
one.
a
You,
beverage?
you ready to try something different, or?
I might have a glass of wine, maybe.
Yeah, here's the wine list right here.
Are you a bourbon guy or a Scotch guy?
Not on Tuesday.
It's Saturday somewhere.
We can't be friends. We can't be friends.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Dakota.
Thanks, Dakota.
I'm just fucking around.
I know.
I usually say something like, if somebody asks me, I usually say only on Tuesdays.
Or only in days that end in Y.
Yeah. Only on Tuesdays, but today is a Tuesday, so it wasn't going to work for me. They're like, All right, I'm gonna try one of these without the crunch.
Yeah.
This is
Just
fried
a fried
perfectly.
shrimp with drizzle of hot sauce and banging sauce, they call it.
There was this restaurant in Charleston a long time ago named called Chai's, and Chai's had a bang bang shrimp like appetizer thing that they served in like a Chinese to go container,
Okay.
and they're like the most. They probably weren't that good, but like in my imagination,
Tastes great so far.
they're the greatest thing in the world. Yes,
Any
sir.
more drinks for us? Doing all right for now?
She's getting me one, I think.
Yeah, I might get a glass of wine in a second, but we'll roll. Thank you, my friend. So we're we can keep talking about food, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
friends and food, right?
all right. So let's try to connect our dots back to where we were.
Back
we're-
to me getting in 2013, I decided to jump back into real
Yeah.
estate.
You got your name on the business. That's where we were. Yeah. Okay.
Both legs, my feet, the shirt, the shoes, everything I take, and I just throw everything I got at it.
Okay.
I want to create this brand. I want
That's
to,
13. Is that what we're thinking? 13, 14-ish. Okay.
yep.
How are you marketing? How are you going all in?
So probably one of the first things that kind of clicked for me was my accountant had a rental property, just couldn't keep rented, terrible tenants, trash in the place. So first of all, I'm predominantly a Augusta Road, downtown Greenville, North Main builder. That's my backyard.
Fancy.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
and it's funny you say that.
Yeah.
So, because Augusta Road in Greenville is designated as left side of Augusta Road, right side of Augusta Road.
Right.
A lot of gentrification has happened in the past several years.
Yep.
Won't get into that too much, but I started on the right side of Augusta Road. The 05, the 29605 area zip code. So anyway, so my accountant had his property, couldn't rent it, over by behind the Goodwill off of Potomac and Old Augusta, right off of Augusta Road. He's like, Mark, you guys want to buy this house? I'll sell it to you for like $50,000. I can't keep a tenant in it.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, yeah, we'll try it. And nothing was going on in this area of Augusta Road, the other side of Augusta Road. It went from, originally back in the day when you had all the...
Wish me luck.
Get it. Dang, you put a little bit of everything on that. It was like a party going on. Yeah? I think I may have ordered that only once before. Let's go.
That is very good.
You like spicy stuff?
The jalapeno not spicy. And I mean that in the most true sense of the word. All right, now. Sorry, I'm getting off track
Yeah.
here.
All right.
I want to try all this stuff individually now.
I like it. What is that, cabbage?
Pickled.
I'm not a
probably
fan of cabbage, so.
Pickled purple. Probably
all-
pickled purple cabbage.
People eater.
Pickled purple cabbage, probably.
You can eat all of that. I'm going to go with the tuna, the jalapeno, the... What do they call this? You know?
Butternut squash, probably.
No.
No?
I mean, could be. Maybe. I don't know. We'll ask.
Put that with it. You'll like it. You like
Yeah.
you like slaw? You like coleslaw? Something like that? No.
That's probably why
Combine it with
I
all
like
of it.
everything but that. You want me to try it with that?
Yeah, combine all of it. It's meant to be all together. That guy in the back.
Sometimes stuff's just supposed to be pretty. Let's be
But
real.
they got it pickled. It's got like
All right.
it's got vinegar on it and shit. Yeah, go all in like that.
Does that make you happy?
Yeah, very happy. And you're gonna have a little bit of the little vinegar in there to balance everything out. A little tart.
Little crunch.
Well, yep. It's nice. Real nice.
Thanks for telling me to do that.
Yeah.
Well played,
The guy in
sir.
the back probably wants you to have a bite of the whole thing, I think.
Sometimes it
That's
just
good.
takes you getting put on the spot to try something.
That's right. When cameras are rolling.
What do you
Do
do?
it.
You can't deny it.
Yeah. Now.
Yep.
All right. So you get this rental house. This is the tough part of eating, and because we
I
start
know,
talking
right?
about food and that kind of stuff. But, right. And if you have food in your mouth, I'm not going to tell you, so you can be embarrassed. I'm kidding.
Thanks.
So you buy this rental house, and now do you have this partner at this point in time?
No
Nope.
partner.
Okay.
This is a guy
Okay.
hired to come with me.
Okay.
Kind of general manager per se.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're like, okay, we're gonna rehab this house. We're gonna deck it out. We're gonna put everything in this house that's on the left side of Augusta Road. All right. So hardwood floors, high-end granite, high-end cabinets, just it's 1,000 square foot house. Hardy siding.
You're
took
going
off the
all in to
bottom.
see what happens, basically, right?
Yep.
Like,
So we do this renovation, make this house a beautiful house. I'm like, crap. All right, we got to get it appraised. We got a buyer that's coming in from Clemson, wants to be close to downtown. Doesn't have to live in a well-established neighborhood. Is okay with transitional area, as everybody likes to say around town.
Yep.
So okay, now all we got to do is get over the appraisal because we're asking the same price per square foot as the other houses. Appraiser comes out, is like, man, nothing sold over here for more than $75,000 in the past 25 years, and you're asking $200,000 for this house. I'm like, well, all you gotta do is go across the street. It's got the same hardwood floors, same granite countertops, same tile shower, same hardy siding. Just go, well, yeah, but. So anyways, we managed to convince the appraiser to pull the comps where he should, and then from the area he should, instead of just looking what is right in front of him and around him. That stigma of what the area is.
Right.
And it got appraised. That was first one. There it's just been, so I feel like we kind of created that comp for that area and have helped develop that area. And, I've done a lot over in what's called the Pleasant Valley area. We got in 2016 Revitalization Award of the Year by the LLR, which was a pretty big deal, for me.
Oh, yeah.
In a construction company, you are feeding a lot of mouths, from the subs to the vendors. I mean, hundreds of people it takes to build one house.
Yes.
So, we try and find some people that are looking for work in the area, and then of course all the other regular subs and trades. And I ended up moving over to that area, moving into one of the houses I lived in. Now I would never move out of that area, downtown, Greenville, Augusta Road. I always had, wanted to be on a big parcel of land, be out in the country, Taylor's, Greer, whatever. Now I wouldn't change it for it.
Right.
Love it, absolutely love it. Love the community, from the food and dining to just the network of people we've created over there. So yeah, so that was kind of the start to my building company that really made me decide the path I wanted to take, where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. I didn't want to just build something and sell it. I wanted to create something unique and desirable. I'm a pioneer in a lot of areas that people haven't yet been into.
Okay.
Did a townhome project over in Arlington. We bought this old abandoned doctor's office that was riddled with, substance users and prostitution and stuff. And people, again, just thought I was crazy gonna build this townhome project in the middle of what they considered the hood.
Right.
And now it's prime real estate.
Right.
So that's the fun part of what I've done and what's really given me a passion for what I do versus just a job. You don't even look. Why don't you
I don't know how to
figure
look.
Tom, the Albarino's great, or the
I'll do that.
Outback.
So anyways,
This appeared on my desk. Obviously I'm
white wine doesn't surprise me.
not after that damn fruity drink, right?
Good for you. Good for you.
Well, I'm eating all this fishy stuff, so I figured that's what I would
Perfect.
stick to that.
Perfect.
I like Albarino too, so. All right, so.
So yeah, now 2013, I created this. I started creating comps.
Yep.
Started creating a brand. Great advertising, putting out a great product. All speculative at this point because I didn't have any clients.
Right.
So I'm having to buy these properties, build them, and sell them.
So you're spec. These are like spec houses, so to speak. Not really, but like.
No, they are.
You're a spec house. I'm building this. I'm making calculated decisions on this is going to increase value and this maybe won't, and I'm going to, all that kind of stuff, and then putting it on the market and crossing your
Open
fingers.
as fast.
Yes.
That's right. And so it's very.
You want that one?
No, I'll eat these two. You eat that.
That sounds good to me.
Fair trade, right?
That's right. I'll eat the cabbage. You had the fried shrimp.
There you go. So that's really how I grew my brand, is designing these houses, these rehabs, new construction, different from what the Greenville market is used to, in my opinion.
Right.
Edgy stuff, different finishes, really paying attention to the details to create something that's just not blasé.
Right.
So people start seeing it, and they start seeing my name and seeing my signs around town, and so it kind of created, I guess, a little, what I feel has been blessed with a little bit of a following. And then I start getting clients that want me to build a house, or do you have anything in this area, or can you duplicate what you did here?
You were kind of lucky not lucky, but blessed in a way, blessed and lucky in a way that in that 13th place, when the poker world kind of shut down, well, not really shut down, but a lot of that income shut down for you, you had the stuff to pull back from '08 and those time, and before that for your custom cabinets, real like at least the knowledge of the market, the places where you could potentially build something interesting, and you probably knew people around town that could be in that market for an interesting house, right? I mean, obviously your logo is not a farmhouse,
Right.
right?
A lot of thought went into this. A lot of thought went into this.
There's not a farmhouse with exposed,
Wood timbers.
wood. Yeah.
Which we still do, and we'll build whatever our client wants. But if I'm building it and I'm designing it, I'm doing something different.
Yeah.
Same quality and thought goes into their house.
Yeah.
So then you fast forward, to 2019, I guess. 2018, started having cash flow issues. I'm like, how's that possible? I'm struggling to make payroll. I'm struggling to pay my vendors. I'm struggling to.
At that point in time, this is me going way in the weeds here. At that point in time, how are you? Are there any like KPIs you're looking at, or is there any things that you are like saying each week, each month, each year, each quarter, we need to be doing X, Y, and Z to keep the train moving, or this is just a blocking and tackling, shoot from the hip?
A lot of that.
Look at the operating account.
I didn't have my head in the business as much as I should have, as much as I do now. I was relying too heavily on the people I employed to do what they're supposed to do.
Right. And your day to day at that point in time is your marketing, planning.
I'm the marketing. I'm the face of the company.
Blocking, tackling the LLR or the BAR or whatever
Creating
it is.
my brand.
Yeah. Okay. Doing stuff like this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right,
Not focusing on the fundamentals, the financials, the inner workings of the company, because I thought I had the people in place to do what I
You're not
needed.
thinking about like, okay, each week we need to be collecting this, or each, I don't know how it works for a construction company, but like maybe each month we need to be doing this, or we need to be closing on this many houses and doing that. You know, you're not that's not different. It's not different than the way most people run their business, right? Like even people who don't have people, prime example number one, even people who don't have people doing that for them aren't looking at those things most of the time. Like solopreneurs, stuff like that. That's why I asked that question. Like, so go ahead. Like you start realizing, how does that come to your attention?
Because my team was like, hey, we need a draw. Hey, we don't have the money to pay this vendor. I'm like, oh, that's when I brought in an outside third party CFO, kind of dive in, because we're building all these beautiful properties. We're selling all this stuff, flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
For record-breaking prices.
You're thinking, am I not pricing these right? Are we not
Are we
bidding them
spending
out
too
right?
much? What's going on?
Right.
And long story short of that, I don't want to dive into that too much. I had some internal staff that was stealing from large, tremendous amounts of money that were creating these cash flow issues, and I didn't have my head in the game like I should have. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And he brought this to my attention. And now
How long did it take the CFO? Did you hire that person full time? Was that person that just came in, or is that like
he was outsourced?
Okay, like a fractional CFO kind of person to come in and like look at your
Analyze
stuff and
the books, tell me what we need to go on, create.
Was he kind of like a forensic kind of person? Like, what the hell's going on? Or this was just like, hey, obviously we need
help
some
with
help
our finances.
Right. Okay.
Not, hey, come fix it, or come find this problem.
Come find out what the problem is. You were just like, obviously we need somebody managing this financial arm of the firm because shit's not going right. So let's get in somebody who knows what they're doing to work 15, 20 hours a week, I guess, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Basically. And he brought all this stuff to my attention. And I kind of went into panic mode because I was weeks from being bankrupt. Weeks when this came to me. Weeks. Ended up, because of the cash flow reasons, taking on super high, I call them crackhead loans, interest debt, just to keep the wheels spinning, just to hope that and crawl ahead, but it just started compiling.
On probably terrible 15, 20, 25% interest rates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or higher.
Yeah, higher, yeah.
I mean, it even got to the point, this was the most stressful part of my...
This is 19?
No, probably 18.
18, okay.
18. Well, yeah. Started seeing little hints of it in 17.
Okay.
But 18 is when it really just hit me in the face. End of 17, 18, sorry. So that's when it really just hit me in the face, and I kind of went into panic mode. What do I do? I mean, it even got to where I went talked with a bankruptcy lawyer to see what are my options. What's
13-7, whatever I'm supposed to do, like.
Yeah. So, and I've never been in that position. Money's never been I've had those in 08 where it was uncomfortable, scary. Had when they seized on, but I still had reserves. This was eating and consuming everything.
Are you having to move your own money into it?
I'm
obviously you are, because you're
I'm
taking
just
out 30%
dumping
loans.
my own money into this, and That's what really started, is because we need to put a owner's equity in. I'm writing a personal check, and it wasn't coming back.
You hate it when it goes from owner's draw to owner's investment.
That's right.
You don't like that.
Is this how businesses are supposed to run? I mean,
That's how they
come
work
on.
in the first year.
That's
Not now.
That's right.
Not now. It's supposed to be having a draw every quarter.
But I mean, I still got this great brand, and people are still
Yeah.
calling me, and houses
Yeah.
are still selling. So,
What's home like? What's the family like? What's talking to wife like?
she's still rock solid.
Yeah.
Rock
We'll
solid.
get through it. We're fine.
We'll figure it out. But it's stressful. I mean, nights of crying with each other.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm talking to this bankruptcy lawyer. And I try and. I mean, I'm an open book to my wife, but I still try and shield her from the stresses
The despair
that I
at
have.
that moment in time.
Right. And
That right at that moment in time, it's not stress.
Yeah.
It's despair.
yeah.
Like this is.
Yeah. So, talked with the bankruptcy lawyer. That's the best option. That's your easiest way out. Yeah, you'll have to figure out something else to
You'll
do.
bankrupt the construction company.
And probably
And you-
personally, because I'm personally
Your own
guaranteed.
personal lines on everything. Yeah.
So I had about $750,000 liquid embezzled from me, and which caused me to incur a total of about $2.5 million worth of just bad debt. Bad debt. That just snowballed from that.
Because you're trying to.
Trying to buy my way out of this.
Yeah. Because you've got Peter buying a house, who gives you $100K or $200K, and then you got Paul building a house, and that money now that needs the money to put the siding on, that money is going out the door. So you have to go to Andre for your 30% loan.
Yeah. So it got bad. It got scary. Many nights of just not sleeping. Just my brain wouldn't shut down. What do I do? How do I get out of this? How do I overcome this? I still have this great building company. I still have this great reputation. People still trust me. Investors put money into me. Subcontractors, like all these people are going to be affected if I pull the plug and say, guys, I'm done. And that would have been the easy way out. But those nights of thinking, okay, well, this plumber and his company, he's got his livelihood based on me paying him.
Yeah.
This electrician,
He's got probably $100,000 AR with you.
yeah. So if I pull the plug, not only am I just shutting down my company, but I'm affecting so many other people's livelihoods. So I decided this isn't the option for me. This is not the path. Everybody knows me in Greenville. I want to walk around with my head up high. I want people to know I did the right thing. I always try and do right people. Sometimes I screw up, but always try and do right people, the ethical thing. So, hey, I always say You know, that bugs me. I don't know why that just came out.
So does President Obama. So like, it's fine. It's fine.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Watch him talk. He's like, like, it's fine.
So
That might not be a good, but people in this bar probably hate him. So it's probably one thing or other,
well played.
But still, if somebody like him, who's probably considered a great orator, and
It's okay if I do.
it's fine with us.
All right, fair enough.
And they're not cameras here watching anyways. It's no big deal. We're fine.
Right,
That's right.
So at that point, I made up in my mind. I said, okay, I'm not going to shut that thing down. I'm going to keep the motor running. So I had a lot of very uncomfortable conversations with all my subs, all my vendors. I mean, I'm starting to get served letters and
Mechanics liens
and
yeah.
So I went and sat down with every single one and said, guys, here's my position. I either close the books and, put a lot of small companies. It's the big vendors that are the ones that are coming after you hard. The corporate ones.
Yeah. They're the ones who have the CFO watching this
And
AR
they're the ones that
building.
can sustain it if I do
Yeah,
close the door. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mom
yeah.
and pop ones that
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 don't even
can't.
probably realize too much that it's going sideways yet.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So I started out negotiating pay downs
folks,
and
yeah.
terms and sending things out, and came to agreements on them. It was still extremely tough because some of them were very accommodating, some of them weren't. Then I sat down all the subcontractors, the mom and pops that were working with me, and said, listen, here's where we're at. I can't make you whole right now, but I will make you whole. If
Right.
you have my word, I'll make you whole. I need some time. I'm going to keep feeding you work, and we're going to keep the ball rolling,
Right,
and I'm going to
right.
pay you additional on top of. And so negotiated all that with all my vendors, all my subs, and I'm still to this date paying down $2.5 million, but I've gotten a lot of it knocked out, and I feel really good about it. I mean, it excites me, and that's what keeps me going.
How are you? So one thing, this is a side note, taking those bad loans out. This is soapbox, Brooks, right? That's why places like those cash places that are on the wrong side of the tracks, poor people who are in despair
Keeps
and
them there.
complete desperation, the only thing they know how to do is find that crappy, which is exactly where you were at that moment in time, right? Like the only thing you're trying to do is like not go bankrupt, right? Get food, keep food, pay the people, right? And you don't have the like, there's something happens in the
A
brain.
little more food, or are we doing well for the moment?
I think
I'm
we're okay
good.
right now. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When something goes on in the brain that cuts off your intelligent part to say this is a really bad decision, and the only thing you're thinking of is survival.
Desperation.
Right. That's why those places, completely and totally survive. So then now back to the real question: how, when you get on, what? And you can tell me I'm not telling you this, but like, how are you structuring your the way that you pay these people back?
So most of them I just set out on weekly or monthly terms. I mean, broad everything. And there's so many of them that I wouldn't have survived had they not worked with me or
Yep.
understood what's going on. I mean, I got a great base of subcontractors that work with me. Some that have been with me through the thick and thin. Bunch of private investors, because at this point I couldn't go and get traditional lending and loan stuff. So I work with a lot of investors that have helped me through this situation. It's been good for them as well.
Obviously.
But it's allowed me to propel forward. I got such a great, strong group of friends that have helped me through this situation. Family.
Yeah.
I just got a great circle of friends, family, subcontractors that have helped me through this. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, whatever it is. And now we've overcome a lot of these speed bumps or mountains.
Right. The mountains.
Mountains.
The mountains.
And and it never, I guess, tarnished my brand. And I think it helped my brand because of the fact that
It definitely helped your
pushed
brand.
through.
It certainly helped your brand amongst the subs and those people that are, because you're right. Like the easy thing is the easy thing is the kind of the easy thing would be like the semi-fold the tent and just drum your finger up to everybody else and recreate
Just
Mark,
redo it.
Mark Construction Company, right?
Exactly.
And just
Would have been so much easier.
right, or bring back Marquee Construction, right, and get a whole new band of subs, and then let them sue you and work it out on the back end, and you start making money again. But but coming to all of them and sitting down, and it has to help you and strengthen your bond with all those people, just like it does with probably your wife when she's like, "We're gonna make this. Don't worry about it."
It does. And the biggest thing is I can walk around with my head up high.
Yeah.
I can come in here and not have to hide from anybody or,
Yeah.
I owe that guy money or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Haven't talked to him yet, right? Like,
that's right. So yeah, and I don't know, I feel God's blessed us because of that. I feel the support of my wife has caused us to flourish. It just, yeah, I'm happy.
That's good.
I'm happy. I'm successful. I still put out a great product. Constantly doing bigger and better things. Constantly learning and creating new and unique things in Greenville. Great. I love Greenville. Downtown Greenville. Greenville City, in my opinion, hands down the best city in America.
No
Love
doubt.
it.
No doubt.
Love it.
Well, cheers. Thank you.
Now, Laz may disagree with me and say Miami, but he's from Miami. I'm from Miami too, born in Miami, but
Oh man.
yeah.
I don't know, Laz might say this is the greatest city in the world.
Yeah,
because
that's
I mean,
true.
when you have the Empire and the Gregory termite pest control building on the side of the road with your name on it. I mean, hey.
That's a trip. That's a trip.
Well, thanks.
This is fun, man.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
fun.
it.